Okay. Hello everybody, my name is Galacti. Welcome to a brand new action figure review on the 2020 Marvel Legends series War Machine. I don't really know. I've actually tried making this video a few times and different things just had to lead me to stop it, like people like wandering in thinking that this is their room and other such things like that. Okay, so hopefully this will be the, you know, what, fifth time's a charm? Let's pray on that. Anyway, a few things I want to go over. Yes, I know I kind of questioned what line this is from. This is because this is like a kind of separate action figure. It's not really from a certain wave or line, but it could be considered like an 80 years because this War Machine does parallel with the 80 years Iron Man, which I do have. Not on me. It's actually my brother's, so I can't really do any comparison of those two in this video. Maybe another video. I'll, just kind of throw those two out just to, maybe in another review that could come anytime. Depends. But I was thinking, I might as well. I just got this like 2 days ago. The one thing I like to do, because my action figures are always out of the packaging when you see them, and some I don't even have the packaging. Before I make a review, I like to have the figure for a day or two and just kind of mess around with it and see what things, because certain action figure reviewers, as much as I love them, they have the action figure for the set amount of time. Now, some of them have had them for a little longer, but sometimes they just take it right out of the packaging and, give us what they think right then and there, and they don't have enough time to really do much with the figure. Not bashing on anyone, just that's kind of how I felt. So I got a few days to toy around with this guy. He is the best War Machine. I think he's the best War Machine Marvel Legend ever. So my review has been quite positive. And also, before we get into the review, you probably noticed the white background is much different from anything I've ever had. That is because a teacher of mine had this box. She's a marketing teacher, and what they would do is they would take pictures of certain products in this white box. And I'll show you what it looks like and how I'm actually set up right now because it's pretty funny. But they had this box. She was about to throw it out because they didn't need it. I asked if I could have it because I thought about this, and I was like, wait a minute, I could, make this look really good. And eventually I'm thinking of starting to do some form, not true, but some form of editing. I have a friend. I know he's good at this stuff, and he watches this, or well, I think he did. I think he watched the last one. I'm not sure. He asked me about it. He's like, "Is it good enough to watch?" And I was like, "I don't know," because I really don't actually. I don't watch my videos before I post them. I just hate my voice, so I just post them for the heck of it. But you know, he's really good at this stuff. I know he was talking to me today, and he's like, "Make sure your phone's whiteout settings are something something," and I was like, "What? What do you talk?" Because I showed him pictures of figures I've taken pictures of in here because this is also a great place to take pictures of figures. So he's great with this stuff. He'll probably teach me how to do editing. This video I might have somewhat of an edit. I'm not sure. If you don't see anything, don't get mad, but I'm going to try out something. If it doesn't work, you're just not going to see anything. It's just going to be the same. But the quality still, I think, has gotten better because of this. Anyway, that talking aside, let's actually get into the action figure review. So, here's the box. We got Legend Series, Marvel War Machine, some warnings. On the side, we have a great look of War Machine. I'd love to... This box only goes so far back, so there's that. There's the back of the box. Got a nice picture of the figure, and then a read-up right here with some added detail explaining this accessory, which I'll go over Same picture right here. Nothing really at the bottom. On the top we have the Air Force, right? He's Air Force, and I believe that's the Air Force logo. Alright, so anyway, let's get to it and show up and take out the figure. Or, I mean, he's already out, but let's get him out. Alright, and there he is. What a seamless transition. I'm not sure how seamless that was, but we're not going to worry about that. Here's the figure. He, like I've said, he is amazing. He is my favorite War Machine Marvel Legend. But before we get into the figure, let's go over the accessories. And obviously, we got to start out with probably my favorite is the guns in the back. So let's try to get. I know I have more lighting than this. Perfect. Somewhat. So we got these guns right in the back here, right here. We got this like missile launcher. We can pop those off. These move up and down, so you can, and the guns swivel on there. So you got the kind of like the machine gun, the turret, looking pretty nice. The yellow like sight. See some of that. Looking pretty good. There's obviously the peg hole. Then we got the rocket launcher. There we go. Looking sweet. Peg holes right here. And with those, they get a certain piece. And I know I was just playing with them. For the rocket launcher, we get this right here, which is awesome. And to port this in, there's a square, a rectangle. I'm in honors math. I better know this. Shapes. Alright, so you just plug it in like that. That looks great. I absolutely love posing him with this. And if I show a few like pictures or whatever of like, you know, how I pose him and stuff, you're going to see these used a lot. Looking great. The rockets you can't take off, so that's useful for something else later. Okay, and you don't know this, but I had to pause the video for a few minutes looking for this accessory, which goes on the machine gun. It was under the table. I'm so mad, I literally started checking my room. But yeah, put it on like that, looks pretty good. I don't know how I feel about this that much though. If it were me, I would have had like little bullets and maybe changed this to like little bullets coming out, because I mean that doesn't look like it would shoot a beam. But it looks great posing, so I'm not really going to complain. So his right arm comes with this cannon. That's important because he has a few parts for it. The main part is this. This is why I pose him with the most. Even though it's pretty, I don't know, unethical. There are a few things I dislike about it. Number one is there's no joint to turn the wrist, so when you pose him with this, you got to kind of pose it to make it look good like that. Because if you go too far up and you try to make it like symmetrical, it looks like he's bending wrong, you know? Right here. Looks like a bad bend, but this is more so if he goes like that. You know, I think that's what they're trying to go for, which is good. You know, it's okay. But what I find is that even if you look at this, is when it shoots, it starts out red and then goes to yellow. With this, for some reason, this is red, and then the shot is yellow here. Okay, so you saw some of the box. I hit the phone. Okay. But, like I was saying, if they switch the colors, so this were red and then it went to yellow, I feel like that would have been better. I don't know. That's just a nitpick of mine. And then we got these two little... They're both different. I just realized... Again, this is something I probably wouldn't have noticed, but these are two different sizes, and it's better if I hold it. And those are about the best I can get, but they are different. and you just port those into these little guys. So you can, you know, port either one. Usually it's only one at a time though, because if you do two, kind of like makes the thing. But again, this is another thing I like to mention. These come out at least orange, so, you know, I don't know where they got the yellow from. And then we got the smoke effects, which you can also port in here. So there's one, and they're both different, like I said, but like just like the little shooting thing, they're both different. You can see that. It looks pretty cool. I do like that a lot. And for the final accessory, we've got, well, okay, second to final. We got these things right here. This is the rocket launch, you know, for him to stand on. I have no clue what to call that. Whatever. Looks great. You can stand the figure right here, so his feet, there are peg holes. You just stand him right there. And it's pretty good at supporting him. I have found that in certain poses, he does love to fall down. That's better, okay. But you can also remove these, and they look great. So if you want to put him on like a stand, a figure stand or something like that, I've got a few of those. And then these do come apart as well, so you can, you know, if you spread the feet out. I tend to try to keep him as, you know, if I'm posing him, what I like to do is just maybe bend those a bit. I like to keep this together though, so that's how I like it. And then he does come with the James Rhodes head sculpt. Let's see, there we go. No? There. So it looks great. I think the right eye is looking a little up. Like I wish the eyes looked different, and it just kind of, especially up close. Far away though, like it doesn't really bother me. And then there's the head, you know, the hairline. I don't know what this hairline is called, or what this, you know. Definitely looks like him though. I have seen a few comics, and it's pretty accurate. So here's the figure right here, looking fantastic, like I've mentioned before. One thing that I've just noticed, so even after having him, is these two sides are different. So this actually has different, which these are things I would have never noticed, even if it wasn't comic book accurate. Like if they were the same, I would have never nitpicked that. He's got that little sight right there. I'm guessing that would just help him aim. Helmet looks great. You got the detail right here. All ridges. Let that focus. Let that focus. There we go. So these are all sculpted. Obviously the sight right here. You know, a lot of detail to that. Helmet looks great. Wish the arc reactor was a different color. It is the same silver as the helmet, and if you look at picture, like if you go back and look pictures at the box, you know, different colors. So that's something. These shoulder things right here move up, so articulation isn't hindered actually at all. Here's the back. Again, it's coming to my attention that these sides are different, and same with this. I've got the belt, the butt, belt on the front. Pinless joints. He is my second figure with pinless joints. I have the Deadpool, which I've mentioned and shown off, so I'll do a review over him and Negasonic at some point. I don't even know what to call this. The brace for the arm looks great, very detailed, lots of sculpt. These hands, I believe we've seen before with the 80 Years Iron Man, and I should be able to say that because I have the figure, at least my brother does, and I've looked at it and kind of toyed around with it because he's not even that big into these guys. He just likes the older type. The silver's pretty clean. There's not a lot of marbling. I don't see marbling. Maybe right there. There's some. Gotta really look for it. Right in there. Legs look great. This is intentional, you know. The one thing I will find though is if you put these to where they're meant to be, well, first off, that just doesn't look right. It's funny, he actually looks good standing like that, like the feet look great, but if you stand it to where it like lines up, his feet are far out and it just doesn't look that good, especially if I'm doing stuff with him. Boots are great though. These actually remind me of something like maybe Batman would wear. It almost reminds me of Arkham Knight. Nah, these aren't, you know, exact to the Arkham Knight, but I hope you guys can see where I'm coming from. And if you haven't played that like most of my friends, then that would just fly right over your head. Still got Sculpt Art in there. This is right here. I'm that upsets me. I wish we were on the bottom of the foot just like this. And then the peg hole's right here. Alright, that's pretty much it for the figure. Let's go over the articulation. He looks this far up, looks this far down, and then there's the swivel, turns his head, can go all the way around. Again, they use that, and I'll just pop it off for most of the rest of the review until like the end. He's got this. I hate it, but it actually kind of makes sense for him because, well, now I'm gonna have to pop it back on because to explain, it makes the helmet look more seamless. You know, it makes it look more in there than the other type of joint for the head. But I still like the other joint better. It's almost a sacrifice I gotta make. The shoulder moves outwards that far, and that is, you know, this can go further, so it's just the shoulder. And I don't want to really damage the figure. Swivel right here, double jointed elbows, which are pretty good. I mean, it's a little over 90 degrees. I wish it was a bit better, but for a bulky figure like him, I'm not going to complain because I don't really need him like that. Wrist turns side to side, all of them, and hinge up and down. We've got an ab crunch forward, about that far. Bit of an ab crunch back. I will say with the ab crunch forward, this does like to kind of separate, and I'm a little worried that over time it might develop a crack. So just be careful. And then there's a swivel right here. Legs go outward that much, and that's actually really good for a figure, especially, like I've mentioned, a big and bulky figure. Kicks this far forward, well, that far until you start doing that. Doesn't kick back. Double jointed knees. So one thing I found, and this is a really good tip, if you get this, he might be really stiff. A lot of people use hair dryers. I don't have, well, my mom does, but you know, she doesn't. I use hot water. It's the same effect, you know, as long as you heat it up and get it to, you know, just allow some heat. You don't want to, you know, accidentally break a part of the figure because it just won't move. And that was for the, you know, all these joints. So be really careful. Feet go that far back. They do not really move up at all. It kind of sucks. But they do have ankle pivot. Okay, so here's him. Stand him right in the back like that. There we go. And let me get a figure for him to stand next to. Who are we thinking? Alright, you know, I'm thinking Louise from the Ant-Man Ghost and Louise 2-pack. I got him right here, you know. I'm going to also review him and Ghost. That was an interesting pack, but it only cost me 16 bucks, so I was like, you know, 2 figures for that price. Plus, this head sculpt is probably the best Marvel Legends like head sculpt. That and the Black Widow, which I have. But yeah. So you can see these two together. They look pretty. I like the Louise. I'm sorry. Louise is great, but you can see that he is definitely a bulkier figure. You know, the Louise is a standard. You know, that's about the size of a typical Marvel Legends. So you can see, like, body size, his torso is definitely much bigger, and he's got the bulky arms, bulky legs. Louise is just tiny. And then even the head, like his other head, you cannot, like, well, it's skin tone as well, but you also can't really put it on a body mold like this because that is huge. But it looks, also it doesn't really look good on the figure. Let me try to put it on the figure. I don't know. I feel like this head sculpt was way too big on their part. Let me know what you think. Because, yeah, I just feel like this was way too big. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe just a tad smaller. Because, yeah, I feel still like it's a little too big. But that's, I don't really care about this head sculpt. The other one looks perfect. And that's really the one that mattered to me. Because I'm not really going to be displaying him with that head sculpt at all. So that was, it was a minor gripe, but hey, at least the other one looks really good. Let me just get something for his final pose. Alright, there you go, there you go. There are all of the things situated. I like to have these two in like different, looking different ways. So it's like he's able to aim at one person, but the rockets are over there shooting at another. And then I did mention that the rockets can come off. This is kind of cool because you can, I think it's the small one, I'm not sure about the big one, but you can get this little guy and you can actually fit it in, which is kind of cool. I mean, you can do something with that, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, let's get that back on him. But yeah, that is the figure. Looking, I mean, he is my favorite War Machine. I have a few others. Actually, let me go grab those. Now, I'm about to tell you guys because one of them just looks really trashy, and that's because he is an older figure, and he was beaten up, but he's still considered like one of the worst War Machines. So, to get the first one out, this one's a bit bigger, but we got the, and I'll do a review on him if you guys want this, but we got the 2020, no, not 2019, 2020, one of those 2 years. Brothor Build-A-Figure Waves Iron Patriot Mark II. He's definitely my second favorite War Machine now, but he is still better than this one. I completely forget what year this is, maybe 2016-ish? No, he's Age of Ultron, not the, I don't know, it's Age of Ultron Wave, or I'm not even sure if he was in a Wave, War Machine, and he's so, like, beat up, I lost the guns. He's just a sad, like a beat up and sad figure. So you can obviously tell that this one is definitely my best War Machine. And then I guess you call this guy my Iron Patriot. So I got both of them, which is great. But yeah, that's going to do it for this review, guys. I'm going to try to cut it off. I did promise you, though, you could see that this is the box right here. Here's the lighting. I can't even get... Yeah, there we go. We had to let the lighting, because I guess the phone adapts, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this is what I'm dealing with right now, and you can see my Avengers Endgame poster. So, I hope you guys liked this video. I'm going to try to keep it under 25 minutes, because again, I gotta go to bed. Actually, well, no, I don't gotta go to bed. What I gotta do is do a multi-paragraph essay on ionic and covalent bonds due tomorrow that I haven't started. Do some math homework along the way, and vocab for government. Yeah, that's gonna suck. That's all being done tonight. I'm excited. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for another action figure review. Peace out, guys.